What if I told you that the piece of bread sitting on your dinner plate tonight is quietly raising your blood pressure more than the salt shaker you've been hiding in the back of your cupboard for the last 10 years? And what if I told you that the average American over 60 is walking around right now with blood vessels that are silently stiffening, cracking under pressure like an old rubber hose, and they have absolutely no idea until the morning they wake up unable to move one side of their body? Look, this isn't fear-mongering. This is the reality of how modern cardiovascular disease actually kills people in this country. And before you scroll away, I need you to hear this, because by the end of the next 25 minutes, you are going to know more about lowering your blood pressure naturally than 90% of the patients who walk into my office every single week. Hello, my friends. And let me be crystal clear with you right from the start. I do not make videos based on trends. I do not make videos based on rumors I heard at a medical conference or something I scrolled past on social media. Every single word that comes out of my mouth on this channel is backed by peer-reviewed research, by decades of clinical practice, and by my sincere, honest opinion, because I believe you deserve nothing less. My only mission here is simple: to educate you, the person listening right now, so you can take charge of your own body and add not just years to your life, but life to your years. That is my promise. And today we're going to talk about something that is quietly robbing millions of Americans over 60 of their final decades: high blood pressure. Now, think about that for a second. When was the last time your blood pressure was checked? Not 6 months ago in your doctor's office. I'm talking this week, at home, under real conditions. Because here is the uncomfortable truth. Your blood pressure is not a fixed number. It is changing constantly, minute by minute, responding to your food, your sleep, your stress, your breathing, your hydration, and yes, even what you watched on television last night before bed. And if you are only measuring it once every 6 months in a doctor's office with a nurse you barely know wrapping a cold cuff around your arm while you're already anxious about the visit, you are essentially flying blind through the single most important metric of your longevity. Here's the reality. According to research aligned with the American Heart Association and the Cleveland Clinic, nearly half of all American adults over the age of 60 have hypertension, and almost a third of them have no clue. Zero. They feel fine. They eat pretty well. They walk the dog. And yet every single heartbeat is pounding against arterial walls that are slowly, microscopically being damaged. And why hasn't your clinic told you this in plain language? Because most primary care visits are 15 minutes long, and there simply isn't time to explain the biology of what's happening inside your blood vessels. But I've got time, right here, right now. So let me peel this back layer by layer. When your heart contracts and pushes blood out, that top number, the systolic, is the force hitting your artery walls. That bottom number, the diastolic, is the pressure still sitting in those arteries when your heart is relaxing between beats. A normal reading, for almost everybody, is under 120/80. Now, once you start creeping into the 130s on top, that is stage 1 hypertension. And here is the part that should wake you up. Research from over 1 million people, reviewed by teams at Johns Hopkins and Harvard Medical School, has shown that for every 10-point rise in your systolic pressure above normal, your risk of stroke and heart attack climbs dramatically. 10 points. That's it. That is the difference between a 125 and a 135. That tiny number you've been ignoring on your last 3 checkups. Now think about that, because this is the part most people miss. High blood pressure does not hurt. It does not itch. It does not glow red. It just erodes you, slowly, like rust eating through a pipe behind your wall. You don't see it. You don't feel it, until the day the pipe bursts. Let me tell you about a friend of mine. Wonderful guy. Exercises. Eats what he thinks is a healthy diet. Went in for a routine checkup. The nurse took his blood pressure. It was elevated. She said nothing. His doctor said nothing. He said nothing. Why? Because he was embarrassed. Embarrassed to ask. Embarrassed that his number wasn't perfect. Listen to me carefully. There is nothing embarrassing about a blood pressure number. It is a data point. Nothing more, nothing less. It is your body whispering to you, hey, I need a little maintenance. And if you ignore that whisper long enough, eventually your body will scream. And by then, the damage is already done. After our walk, after I explained to him what was really at stake, my friend went home and made a handful of small changes. Within 1 week, my friends, his blood pressure dropped by 20 points. No pills, no prescriptions, no miracle supplements, just biology, respected properly. And this is the hope I want you to hold on to. Research published through institutions like Stanford and the Mayo Clinic consistently shows that aggressive lifestyle intervention can reduce stroke risk by 40%, heart attack risk by 25%, and heart failure risk by over 50%. 50%. Let that number sit with you. There is not a pill on earth that can match that kind of protection across the board. So let's get into the 20 natural strategies. And I want you to stay with me because the last 5 are the ones almost nobody talks about. Number 1, reduce or eliminate alcohol. Now I know, nobody wants to hear this, but alcohol directly stiffens your blood vessels and disrupts the delicate hormonal balance that regulates pressure. Cutting it down can drop your systolic by 2 to 4 points almost immediately. If you must drink, keep it under ½ an ounce of ethanol per day. That's it. Number 2, move your body. Not a marathon, not CrossFit. A brisk 30-minute walk most days of the week can lower your blood pressure by 4 to 9 points. And here is the cellular magic of it. When you walk, your muscles demand more oxygen, which forces your blood vessels to produce more nitric oxide, which is the molecule that tells your arteries to relax and widen. It's like giving your entire circulatory system a gentle biological massage. Number 3, lose 10 pounds. I know that sounds blunt, but the data is crystal clear. Every 10 pounds of excess weight forces your heart to pump against thousands of additional feet of blood vessels. And the key to this weight loss isn't starvation, it's the quality of your food. Potassium, magnesium, whole food fiber. These 3 nutrients, working together, are more powerful than almost any pill. Now here is where I want you to pause for a second and do me a favor. If you've made it this far, if what I'm sharing is resonating with you, type the word awake in the comments below. Just that one word, because I want to know how many of you are ready to stop sleepwalking through your own cardiovascular health. And while you're there, hit that subscribe button. It's free, and it helps me reach more seniors who desperately need this information. All right, let's keep going. Number 4, do not launch out of bed in the morning like a rocket. Here is why this matters on a deeply biological level. When you wake up, your body naturally floods itself with cortisol and adrenaline. Your heart rate jumps, your vessels constrict. This is called the morning surge, and it's the reason why more heart attacks and strokes happen between 6 a.m. and 10 a.m. than any other window of the day. So when you bolt upright from bed, you are stacking stress on top of an already stressed system. Sit up slowly, pause, breathe. Let your autonomic nervous system catch up. This one habit alone has saved lives. Number 5, drink water first thing in the morning. While you slept, you exhaled water vapor for 8 hours. You are mildly dehydrated, guaranteed. And here's what dehydration does at the cellular level. It thickens your blood, increases vascular resistance, and forces your heart to work harder just to circulate. A simple glass of water, before coffee, rehydrates your plasma volume and lets your vessels relax. Number 6, breath work. This is the one almost nobody teaches. Your breathing directly controls your vagus nerve, the master switch between your fight or flight and rest and digest systems. When you breathe shallow and fast, you flood your body with adrenaline. When you breathe slow, especially with a longer exhale than inhale, you send a direct signal to your brainstem that says, "We are safe." Try this right now with me. Inhale for 4 seconds. Pause. Exhale for 6 to 8 seconds. Do it 10 times. Your blood pressure will measurably drop. This is not magic. This is neurophysiology. There is also a technique called the physiological sigh, developed and popularized by neuroscience research at Stanford University. You take a deep inhale through your nose, then a second short inhale stacked on top of that, then one long exhale through your mouth. 2 to 5 rounds. It opens the tiny air sacs in your lungs called alveoli, dumps excess carbon dioxide, and calms the nervous system in under 60 seconds. Number 7, do not make coffee your first move of the day. Look, I'm not telling you to quit caffeine, but caffeine is a stress signal. It activates your sympathetic nervous system, spikes cortisol, and can raise your blood pressure for up to 12 hours after 1 cup. If your pressure is already elevated, test yourself. Check your blood pressure before coffee and 30, 60, 90, and 120 minutes after. The numbers will tell you the truth your taste buds never will. Number 8, stop eating restaurant food. I know this one hurts, but restaurant kitchens are not preparing food for your longevity, they are preparing it for your taste buds. Hidden sodium, inflammatory seed oils, caramelized sugars, excessive saturated fats. One restaurant meal can contain more sodium than you should eat in an entire day. Number 9, avoid frozen TV dinners. They are cheaper, yes, but read the label. You will find 30 to 40% of your daily sodium in one tiny tray. And because the portions are so small, you end up reaching for cookies, chips, or crackers afterward, which are also loaded with sodium and refined starch. Number 10, track what you eat daily, alongside your blood pressure readings. Most people miss the connection because high blood pressure doesn't spike for 24 to 72 hours after a bad meal. By then, you've forgotten what you ate. A simple notebook, or a notes app on your phone, will reveal patterns that no doctor could ever spot in a 15-minute visit. Number 11, ground flax seeds, every single day. If I could pick one food on this entire planet for someone with high blood pressure, it would be this. Flax seeds contain lignans, omega-3 precursors called ALA, soluble fiber, and blood sugar stabilizing compounds. Research out of Harvard has shown that 2 tablespoons a day can lower systolic pressure by as much as 10 to 15 points over 6 months. 10 to 15 points from a seed. But you must grind them. Whole flax seeds pass through your digestive tract completely undigested. Sprinkle ground flax on oatmeal, yogurt, smoothies, or overnight oats. Number 12, eat more dark leafy greens. Spinach, kale, Swiss chard, collards, arugula. These plants convert sunlight into the very minerals your blood vessels crave. Magnesium, folate, potassium, nitrates. They reduce oxidative stress, lower inflammation, and feed the healthy bacteria in your gut that regulate blood pressure through the gut vascular axis. Number 13, arugula specifically. This peppery little green is one of the highest natural sources of dietary nitrates on the planet. When you eat it, bacteria on your tongue convert those nitrates into nitrites, which your body then converts into nitric oxide, the master vasodilator. Your arteries literally relax and open. It's like turning down the pressure in a garden hose by gently widening the nozzle. Toss arugula on sandwiches, salads, eggs, pizza, whatever makes you eat more of it. Number 14, beets and beet juice. Same mechanism as arugula, but even more concentrated. Olympic athletes have been drinking beet juice for over a decade because it improves oxygen delivery, endurance, and blood flow. Roast them. Shred them raw onto salads. Blend them into smoothies. One caution though, don't juice the raw greens because they are high in oxalates, which can contribute to kidney stones. Cook the greens and discard the cooking water. Number 15, hibiscus tea. This is one of the most researched natural blood pressure interventions in modern literature. Studies reviewed by researchers at the Mayo Clinic have shown hibiscus tea can reduce systolic pressure by 7 to 13 points in people with mild hypertension. It's anti-inflammatory. It's rich in antioxidants called anthocyanins, and it tastes fantastic. Hot, cold, plain, or with a splash of lemon. Number 16, magnesium. Listen to me carefully. Nearly half of Americans are deficient in magnesium. Half! And magnesium is required for over 300 enzymatic reactions in your body, including blood vessel relaxation, heart rhythm stability, insulin sensitivity, and nerve function. When you're low in magnesium, your blood vessels become tight, twitchy, and reactive. Good sources include leafy greens, pumpkin seeds, almonds, black beans, and dark chocolate. Yes, real dark chocolate, 70% or higher. Number 17, beans. And I don't mean green beans, although those are fine. I'm talking garbanzo beans, black beans, kidney beans, lentils, pinto beans, mung beans. These legumes are packed with soluble fiber, magnesium, potassium, and plant protein. They stabilize blood sugar, lower cholesterol, and directly support vascular health. Just don't drown them in salt when you cook them. Number 18, reduce sodium aggressively. Sodium is not inherently evil. Your body needs some of it. But in the American diet, we eat 2 to 3 times the amount we need. And when you overeat sodium, your body holds on to water to dilute it. More water in your bloodstream means more pressure against your arterial walls. Over years, this wears down your vessels, your kidneys, and your heart. And here's the kicker. Most of your sodium isn't coming from your salt shaker. It's coming from bread, cheese, deli meats, canned soups, frozen dinners, and sauces. Number 19, avoid high-sodium sauces. Soy sauce, teriyaki, barbecue sauce, ketchup, salad dressings. 1 tablespoon of soy sauce contains over 900 milligrams of sodium. That's almost half your daily limit in 1 tablespoon. Read every label. And number 20, the one almost nobody talks about. Avoid bread, especially breadsticks, pizza crust, bagels, and prepackaged sandwich bread. Bread is one of the sneakiest sources of hidden sodium in the American diet because salt is baked directly into the dough. It controls yeast fermentation, adds shelf life, and enhances flavor. You don't taste the salt because it's woven into the texture. 1 bagel can carry 500 milligrams of sodium before you even add cream cheese. So, my friends, we've just walked through 20 evidence-based, biologically sound strategies to lower your blood pressure naturally. But here is the hardest truth of all. None of this works if you don't actually do it. Reading about these strategies is not the same as living them. Watching my video is not the same as grinding your flax seeds tomorrow morning. Knowledge without action is just entertainment. So here is what I want you to do right now. Before you close this video, pick 3 of the 20 strategies I just shared. Just 3. Write them down. Stick them on your refrigerator. And commit to doing them every single day for the next 30 days. Then, and this is important, drop a comment below and tell me which 3 you picked. I read these comments. I respond when I can. And when I see thousands of you choosing your 3, it reminds me why I make these videos in the first place. And if this video helped you even a little bit, if even one sentence made you stop and think, please hit that like button, share it with someone you love who's over 60, and make sure you're subscribed so you never miss the next deep dive. Because here is my final promise to you. Your blood pressure is not your destiny. Your genetics are not your sentence. Your age is not your excuse. Every single meal, every breath, every walk, every glass of water is a vote you are casting for the body you want to live in 10 years from now. So vote wisely, my friends. Your heart is listening. Your arteries are listening. Your future self is listening. This is, and I'll see you in the next one.